Atlanta Falcons versus Arizona Cardinals game review. Now, I've decided to wait. I could have uploaded this a couple hours, but I decided to give it a day, really think about things, and see how I really feel about this win. Because if you guys missed out yesterday, the Falcons beat the Arizona Cardinals 20-19. A very close game, and which means that right now we would have the number 6 overall pick. But something at the end of the video, I want to talk to you guys about the Atlanta Falcons, so make sure to stay tuned throughout the whole video. Desmond Ridder, 19 for 26, 169 yards, 6.5 yards average per throw, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He should have had a touchdown. The referees keep costing Desmond Ridder a touchdown. And let me just say this really quickly. Actually, no, I'll say it for the end of the video. Desmond Ridder was only sacked one time, and he had a passer rating at 90.1. David Blau, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, was 24 for 40, 222 yards, 5.6 average per throw, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. So Desmond Ridder did not play as well. Actually, no, he played better than the Arizona Cardinals quarterback. It's just the Arizona Cardinals quarterback had a lot more attempts than he did completions. So Desmond Ridder did play better than Arizona Cardinals quarterback, but Desmond Ridder did what he was supposed to do. He made 6 completions in the last drive and set up the game-winning field goal that Younghoe kicked. Rushing, Tyler Algier is the future of the Atlanta Falcons. I just wanted to say that. Tyler Algier is the future running back of the Atlanta Falcons. 20 carries, 83 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Cordell Patterson had 9 carries, 42 yards, averaging 4.7 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown. And this is the biggest reason why. We beat the Arizona Cardinals in terms of rushing because James Conner, their most carries for them, had 16 carries, 79 yards, and then Corey Clement had 7 carries, 32 yards. So we definitely beat them when it came to a rushing game. Receiving, they kind of got better. Even though they were missing their top target in DeAndre Hopkins, thankfully DeAndre Hopkins was out. They still have Marquise Brown, they still have AJ Green, they still have Robbie Anderson, who's used to coming against the Atlanta Falcons considering he used to be a former Carolina Panthers. But the top receiver for the Arizona Cardinals today was Trey McBride. 7 catches, 78 yards. Marquise Brown, 6 catches, 61 yards. James Conner, 3 catches, 31 yards. Our top receiver for today, or for yesterday, was Michael Pruitt, 4 receptions, 49 yards. Drake London having 5 receptions for 47 yards. One thing I keep saying about this, Drake London, no matter what happens, when he was playing with Marcus Mariota, he would have about 3 to 4 receptions per game. With Desmond Ridder, he's having a lot more receptions per game, and I love to see it. 47 yards. Cordell Patterson has 6 receptions, 42 yards. None of the receivers got a touchdown. I'm still fine with that. Now, in the game, Desmond Ridder did have a fumble that he lost. So that was the first big mistake that Desmond Ridder has actually had in his first 3 games. But considering the fact that it took him 3 games for him to make his first mistake, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. First 3 games and your third game you make a mistake is completely fine. And I mean, the Arizona Cardinals had a fumble, but they recovered it. But this is the biggest point I want to talk about this. Defense got to the quarterback, but it was not enough. The defense did hold the Arizona Cardinals to less than 20 points. I'll give them that. But they should not be conceding over 200 yards. Quarterbacks like David Blau, Geno Smith, Jacoby Brissett, they should not be conceding these type of yardage to those type of quarterbacks. And that's my biggest problem when it comes to defense. Now, we did, in fact, get 2 sacks on the day with Isaiah Oliver, who is playing for a contract this year. And the way he played in this game, it seems like he may get a contract extension, at least a 1 to 2 year contract extension, because he led the team in tackles. He was a part that led the team in tackles. He had 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass deflections, and 1 QB hit. Richie Grant was the other guy that led the team in tackles with 9 tackles and 4 solo. The only other guy to get a sack was I'm going to just say AO, and he had 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 QB hit. But one of the biggest moments I want to say, and Richie Grant has gotten a lot of flack for the way he's been playing this game, or played in the past few weeks. I think Richie Grant is going to be a very good safety for us. He is a big part of the reason why we won this game. That block punt by Richie Grant just set up everything to be perfect. And like I said, when it comes to Desmond Ridder, he did what he had to do. When you want a possible franchise quarterback, you want them to be in pressure situations, trying to win. You got 2 minutes left, go down the field, go win the game for your team, or at least set up the game to win, set up the game-winning field goal for your team, and that's what Desmond Ridder did. Now, next week is going to be a very interesting thing, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have already clinched the NFC South. They're going to be resting most of their starters. They're not going to be playing most of their starters. So I think that next week, when the Falcons play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Desmond Ridder will get his first touchdown, possibly even more, and I think that Desmond Ridder will have his first game over 300 yards. But we're going to get into that more and later when we get closer and closer to Week 18, the final week of the Atlanta Falcons seasons. And hey, my prediction for the Falcons was 5-12. We have a possibility of finishing 7-10, or we can possibly finish 6-11. So we're basically 1 to 2 wins off. But either way, we're going to have a top 10 pick. I love what I saw with Desmond Ridder. I love what I saw from Desmond Ridder in this game. Tyler Algier is going to be a future star running back for Atlanta Falcons. The one thing that the Falcons really need to change when it comes to this game is the defense, because David Blau should not have over 200 yards passing. This defense was conceding way too many yards passing, and that's my only problem with this game. But otherwise, congratulations on the Atlanta Falcons beating the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week.